Hello friends, it's Miss Hannah again. It is so good to be here with you today in this online space. To start with today, I have some questions for you and I'd like you to answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Who is always there for Minnie Mouse? Who is always there for Iron Man? Who is always there for Harry Potter? Who is always there for people in danger? Who is always there for people who are sick? Who is always there for children? Who is always there for you? That's great. Now, that seems pretty easy, but I'm wondering, what does always there even mean? What does it mean to be there for someone? Does it mean you're always right there by their side? What does it mean to be there for the sick, for the poor, for your family, for yourself? Another way of saying this is being present with someone. If I want to be present with a friend, I wait, listen, and ask how I can support them best. Today we are present with each other. Let's take a few seconds of silence to be with one another. Thanks. Whether we are together or apart, God is always with us. And we can be present with each other in many ways too. Today's song is about being present with God and each other, no matter what the situation.
Hi, Miss Sue here. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Let's sing that together. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to the Spirit say, I am here with you. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to your family say, I am here with you. As close as your breath, your beating heart, I am here with you. As far as you go, no matter the time, I am here with you. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to your community say, I am here with you. As close as your breath, your beating heart, I am here with you. As far as you go, no matter the time, I am here with you. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to your neighbor say, I am here with you. As close as your breath, your beating heart, I am here with you. As far as you go, no matter the time, I am here with you. As far as you go, no matter the time, I am here with you.
God is present among us. Thanks, Miss Sue. In the story today told by Miss Joan, we will encounter 3 women who figured out how to be present with each other in their hurt. As we prepare to learn more about being present with each other, let's begin with the compassion prayer. Place one hand on your head and one hand on your heart. Remember, we do this because compassion happens in our brains, but we often feel it in our hearts. Will you repeat after me? Loving Spirit, you are active and alive, always moving and stirring within and around us. Please be an encouraging wind at our backs, giving us open minds and soft hearts to follow where you lead. Make us flexible and present in each moment, that we might embrace compassion by letting go of what we expected. Amen. Well, are you ready for the Bible story? Let's check it out.
Welcome back to Compassion Camp. I'm Miss Joan, and I'm going to tell you a story from the Bible about compassion. Today's story feels hard and sad. Ruth and Orpah had a tough choice in front of them when they followed Naomi. They loved their families, and they loved one another. This story shows us what being open and present to the people along the way, what that can look like. When our compassion is strong, we are alive to the feelings of others around us. We are open to feeling what they feel and thinking about how we can be with and support them in their feelings. So back in the Bible, in Judah, there was once a man named Elimelech who worried about how his family would survive the famine. A famine is a time when there's not enough food. He took his wife Naomi and their 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, to the country of Moab. They settled there and made a life among the people. Soon their sons married 2 women named Orpah and Ruth. Sadly, Naomi's husband passed away, and then even her 2 sons died too. Naomi missed her family. She wanted to go back home, back to Judah where they came from. So she began the long journey back to Judah. As was the custom for daughters by law, Orpah and Ruth followed her. But Naomi insisted that they stay home in Moab. Go back to your family. May the Lord deal kindly with you, as you have dealt with your husbands and with me. Peace be with you. Then Naomi hugged them. They all said goodbye and they cried together. But Orpah and Ruth, they were determined to follow her. Naomi tried to persuade them. You do not want to ruin your chances at marriage and having your own families. If you stay with me, you will have nothing, because I cannot give you anything. I have lost everything, and my heart is very bitter. Once again, they all cried together. Orpah, she decided to go back, but Ruth clung to Naomi even more. Naomi said to Ruth again, "Don't stay with me. Go back. Go back with Orpah." But Ruth opened up to her. "Don't make me leave you. Where you go, I will go. Where you make your home, I will make my home. Your people will be my people. Your God, my God. And where you die and are buried, I will be buried there too. I will be your thing." When Naomi saw that she couldn't change Ruth's mind, her heart softened. She accepted Ruth, and they traveled back to Judah together. Ruth lovingly took care of Naomi, and she became like a daughter to her. Sometimes it's hard to know what direction to take. But if we are present to the experiences of those around us, we can trust God's Spirit to show us the compassionate way. Naomi showed compassion to Ruth and Orpah by encouraging them to return to their families. Ruth showed compassion to Naomi by going with her. Orpah showed compassion too by supporting Ruth's decision while making the tough choice that was best for her. All gave compassion in their own way, showing us there are many ways to follow the Spirit's leading to love and care for those around us.
What a great story. Today I have lots of activity choices to help you ponder and respond to the Bible story today. First, this is the symbol and coloring page for our story today along the way. It looks like two women walking together, like Ruth and Naomi. There are questions to think about as you color, and then you can cut it out and hang it up with the other story symbols. And this is one that's in your materials that's already colored. Next, let's take a look at our Compassion Camp poster. We're going to find all the moments of compassion that show people being present with each other, and then you can color those in or just take a close look. Like maybe two people walking, two people sitting on a bench, a couple of kids running and holding hands, and someone giving a tissue to someone who's crying. I can't find that one, maybe you can. Another idea is to take a mindful walk. Compassion helps us be present with each other. When we're present, we slow down and pay close attention. Our senses like sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing help us know the world around us. Maybe you could take a walk around your neighborhood using your senses to discover and explore what's around you. You could decide on what path to take. Will you use your usual path or maybe try a new way? And as you walk, think about what you see, feel, hear, touch, or smell around you. Maybe you'll see creatures. Maybe you'll see trees and leaves. Maybe you can listen for the sounds of cars or trains or birds nearby. You can feel the weather. Maybe you can stop and smell some good scents of flowers or bread baking. Be sure to pause along the way and practice being present. You can sit or stand quietly and observe. If it's too hot or rainy today to walk outside, you could take a virtual excursion. Maybe you could look at webcams of animals at your favorite zoo or aquarium, or virtually visit a museum you've wanted to see, or maybe you could want to watch a pre-recorded concert. So you could all do one as a family or do separate ones. Then you would explain how to use you would use your senses to really explore it. Maybe you can draw what you see, listen for animal sounds or music. And again, be sure to take pauses along the way to practice being present. Sit or stand quietly and observe. Another option is to check out the breathing and movement yoga videos that I posted online. Another idea is to make a sign. We can't be physically present with each other because of physical distancing, but we can be spiritually present with others by leaving signs of hope in our neighborhood. The surprise of seeing a simple word or picture of hope can fill us with encouragement and help keep us going our way. You can write or draw encouraging words, phrases, or pictures for your neighbors, maybe using sidewalk chalk, or maybe making a poster to hang on your window or your door. Maybe you can make it colorful so people can see it. It's a great way to encourage everyone that walks by. You could even do sidewalk chalk outside of church. What messages of encouragement would you want to share? Okay, for this next activity, we're going to do it right now. And you'll need a piece of paper and something to write with. It could be a pen, it can be a pencil, it can be a crayon, really anything. And what we're going to do is I'm going to read you a story and you're going to draw what you hear, okay? So I'll give you a moment to go find paper and something to write with. All right, you have paper and something to write with? Great. Now, one of the ways we are present with one another is by listening carefully. I'm going to read you something, and you are going to listen for the details. If you're fully present with my story, I wonder how many details you can remember. Now, to help you remember, we're going to show our excellent listening skills by drawing what we hear. Doesn't matter what it looks like, just draw what little things that will help you remember, okay? Here's the story. It's called We Can Be Present. I had a long day. I was eating breakfast this morning at the breakfast table when my dad came in and said that we would be leaving in 15 minutes to run some errands. I did not want to go. I wanted to sit at the table, finish my cereal and play with my pet lizard, Vanessa. I felt frustrated. But I got into the car with my dad and we made our first stop at the grocery store to pick up some toilet paper, another box of my favorite cereal, and coffee for Dad. I asked for an apple and my dad said yes. Then we put our groceries in the car and headed to the post office. Sometimes the post office is fun because I get to pick out the stamps. But today there was a long line and I didn't want to be there. My dad said it was very important. He held 2 boxes and an envelope while we waited in line. I felt compassion for him, so I offered to hold something. He gave me the smaller box and said thank you. Then we had to go to the dentist. My dad needed a cleaning, so I had to sit next to him and wait. I read a magazine about lizards and ate my apple. The dentist said that apples are good for my teeth. Finally, my dad said, "Thank you for being present with me today. I have a question. Where would you like to go?" I was excited. I knew exactly where I wanted to go. There's a park by my house that has an excellent climbing tree. Dad took me to the park so I could climb that tree and play for a while. He even climbed up with me. It was a long day, but I'm glad we spent it together. The end. So you can finish up your drawings, try to remember any of the details, especially of where the narrator went in the story and what they did. I would love to see what you drew. What did you notice about my story? What was the most interesting part? Did you ever get tired of listening? Did it help you to draw out the details? If I tested your memory about my story, would you be able to answer my questions? You can check your picture with the one provided in the materials to see how close you listened and followed it. So you can look at your picture and tell me, what was the first step in the day of errands? That's right, it was the grocery store. Now, was the post office a fun place to be in the story? No, it wasn't. There was a long line. Do you remember how the narrator helped her dad? Yeah, she helped him hold the smaller box at the post office. Where was the last place they went? Yes, the girl's favorite park with the good climbing tree. Great job listening today. When we listen to each other carefully, we can remember details and make connections. I have one more question for you. In this story, who was being present? The dad, the child, or both? Why? Alright, now you have a chance to check out all the other activities for this week. I can't wait to see examples of how you are present with others this week and help encourage those around you. Welcome back, everyone. What a joy to be together, even if it's just virtually right now. How did your 4th week go? Have you tried any of the extra activities yet? which ones sound the most interesting to you? We've learned a lot about compassion. Remember, this is compassion. I see your hurt. I feel your hurt with you, and I help ease your hurt. Compassion helps us see and welcome each other, and it helps us make us brave. We learn how important it is to care for others when we care for ourselves. This week, we explored what it looks like to be present with each other through the story of Ruth, Orpah, and Naomi. When Naomi lost her husband and sons, Ruth and Orpah lost their husbands, and they each faced a difficult decision of staying or going, and had to choose the best direction for them. But they showed compassion for each other and received compassion. Naomi showed compassion to Ruth and Orpah by giving them the option to return to their families. Ruth showed compassion by choosing to stay with Naomi when she lost her husband and 2 sons. Orpah showed compassion by returning to her family to help them. Compassion goes both ways. Each could make their hard decision because of the compassion they received. What does it mean to be there for someone? Was Ruth there for Naomi? Were Ruth and Naomi there for Orpah? How do you think Orpah's family felt when she came home? How have you been present with a friend, with a grown-up, or a sibling before? We can be present with each other because we are filled with God's love, and God promises to be with us always. Let's sing our song Face to Face together.
Hi, Miss Sue here. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Let's sing that together. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to the Spirit say, I am here with you. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to your family say, I am here with you. As close as your breath, your beating heart, I am here with you. As far as you go, no matter the time, I am here with you. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to your community say, I am here with you. As close as your breath, your beating heart, I am here with you. As far as you go, no matter the time, I am here with you. Face to face or far away, God is present among us. Listen to your neighbor say, I am here with you. As close as your breath, your beating heart, I am here with you. As far as you go, no matter the time, I am here with you. As far as you go, no matter the time, I am here with you.
Ruth, Orpah, and Naomi have shown us what we've learned so far about compassion. Seeing one another, being brave, trusting, and listening with your heart. They show us what compassion looks like when we are present with people we encounter along the way. When I am open and present with someone, I wait with them, listen carefully to them, and ask how I can support them best. When we show up for people like this, we give compassion. And when people show up for us like this, we receive compassion. These three women shared compassion in a hard situation and showed us how we can give and receive compassion too. Let's close in the same way we opened today. Place one hand on your head and one hand on your heart. Remember, we do this because compassion happens in our brains, but we often also feel it in our hearts. Will you repeat the prayer after me? Loving Spirit, you are active and alive, always moving and stirring within and around us. Please be an encouraging wind at our backs, giving us open minds and soft hearts to follow where you lead. Make us flexible and present in each moment, that we might embrace compassion by letting go of what we expected. Amen. Well, campers, thanks for joining me and our special guest this week. I have a couple of things to leave you with. This is the prayer coloring page. I encourage you to color and reflect on the prayer this week. And with your family, use the Daily Examine card, which offers an opportunity to reflect on the day and the whole week session with your family. I'll see you next week for our final session of Compassion Camp, August 23. Can't wait!